has to bring him
100%.
up.
But the funny thing is, Arsenal fans were laughing at us saying, "Oh yeah, your centre back short and that, but he wins more aerial duels than yours."
Yes. And what's the crazy thing is, they was linked with him. I remember
Bro,
before
they
we
wanted
got
him
they was
until,
linked with
bruv,
him.
listen, I saw photos of him in an Arsenal shirt, and as soon as he signed for Man United, all of a sudden he turned into fucking, what were they calling him? What's his name?
What was the name? Was it Lannister?
What's that? Nah, bro, not bruv. You know what's the short brother, like the short Russian brother?
Who's the short Russian brother? Who?
Hasbullah, or whatever his name is.
Oh yeah, wait, the guy who was in what's it called?
Bro,
Yeah, I know you're talking about.
They were calling him that, bro. That's what they was calling him, bro. As soon as we signed him, that's what they were calling him. They were calling man a dwarf and know what I mean? And now all of a sudden he's the best centre back in the league, and no one's got chat for man. I think I think everyone's in agreement that Lissandro is the best centre back in the league now, or are people still unsure?
People will still fight it because it's Manchester United. People will still fight it. If he was playing for Newcastle United, no one would debate it. But because it's us, people will debate it. Like that's legit what it is. That's what I've noticed. Is even though we're not at the level where we want to be, the bar is we're still viewed differently. It's like everybody hyping up Newcastle. If we had drew 5 out of our last 6 games, nobody would be hyping us up. And I like Newcastle. I think they're a good side. They played 22 matches and drew. When they drew 11 out of their 22 matches or 12, that's over 50%. Something crazy like that. I'm like, if that was us, we'd be getting criticized heavily. This is my
100%.
Like, we get viewed differently. So it's like, all right, cool. It is what it is.
Yeah, but he was getting cooked. You know what I'm saying? He was getting cooked, bro. Remember the Brentford game, They were blaming him for conceding a goal that wasn't his fault.
Yeah,
you know, like that. And then all of a sudden he was a waste of money, and all that chat's gone real quiet. You know what I'm saying? And everyone was talking about Saliba's going to be the difference. Do you know what I'm saying? And like he's come back from loan and he's going to do all of these things, bro. He's not signing a new contract to Arsenal. I don't believe he will. Do you know what I'm saying? And it's one of them ones where he's just not as good as Arsenal fans think he is. I think he's a good player. However, I think that they massively overrate him. Do you know what I'm saying? They massively overrate him. So
I think, I get what you're saying. Like, I think he is a good player, but because they're so lacking of success, anything that they can hold on to, they're going to. It's like, let's wait and see. Because like I think he had a game, it was on BT, and Rio was like, who said it? Was it Gary Neville? It was either Gary Neville or Rio said he reminds him of like a young Rio. And I remember Arsenal fans running with this. You know what I'm saying? I think it might have been Gary Neville, actually. The chat will let me know. And then I was like, all right.
But even a young Rio is not a bad shout. But I think Rio Ferdinand physically was, you don't know, he had a bit more about him. Do you know what I mean?
Facts. He never went 0 from 17 in duels. Put it out.
Yeah, he didn't. You know I think physically Rio had a bit more about him. Do you know what I'm saying? Now that's what I think. Rio Ferdinand wasn't known for his like physical duels with strikers, but Rio used to put himself about a little bit. Like people think of Rio Ferdinand and just think, oh yeah, tidy on the ball. But Rio could get stuck in as well when he needed to. Do you know what I'm saying? He wasn't just a ball playing centre back. He used to physically impose himself on players as well. I haven't seen Saliba do that. I remember we said when we played Arsenal, he failed the Rashford test. You know, like that. He failed the Rashford test, bro. And then there was another game watching him, man shit himself and scored an own goal because he had a man running him down. You know, like that. So, like we saw Rio get outpaced in his later years, but we never saw Rio get bullied physically. Like we never saw it.
Because of his like physique, because he's tall and he was lean, like he was built.
Yeah, but also he was one blood. Like even though he's like 6'3" or something, 6'3" or 6'4", that but Rio was probably about 13, 14 stone. Even though he's a big guy.
Well, he was lean and he knew how to use it as well. It's all about being smart, and we watched him improve because the Rio that we got wasn't the Rio that. Right, that's crazy. He wasn't the Rio.
That's crazy. Man, that's a pause, you know.
That's crazy. That's nuts, yo. 0 from 10. Like that's wild. You know what I'm saying? Like that's someone you expect from like maybe a youngster making his debut. And he's up against a quality.
No, but even a younger, bro. Listen, he might win one. I've seen Twanzebe dominate Alexis Sanchez, bro. Like I'm not trying to see no 0 out of 10 from no one. You know, like that. I'm sorry, bro.
You right.
You had to give man a little moment silence, bro. Man just tripped on it. You know, like that. It's that.
It is, because that is crazy. And again, this is from a player. Don't get me wrong, people. I rate him. I think he's a good young centre back. But like that's what it is. You know, like that's what it is. Like Axel, I thought he was going to talk about that night in Paris when we got sold when he went up against Mbappe, and we thought we had a gem. I thought we had a gem. I was like, yo, Axel, man was running up and down with Mbappe. I'm with it. But yeah, Ivan Toney as well. I would take, depending on the betting scandal, that's a striker I want at United. I've said this. I said that's
listen, bro. Listen, I'd sign Ivan Toney and I'll pay for his lawyers, bro, because he's that good.
100%.
You know the one there? Like everyone's 100%. Talking about Osimhen. Osimhen, I'm not taking him over Ivan Toney. Not at all, bro. You know the ones there, and man are asking for 100 million plus for Osimhen as well because they paid 70 odd million for him. Do you know what I'm saying? You can get Ivan Toney for 70 M's, and you're getting him for 60, 70 M's. Yeah, he's Premier League proven, and he's just a bad man. And the thing is, Ivan Toney, is just as good at creating chances as he is at taking them, bro. He's a very rare mode of centre forward that's kind of got everything. Do you know what I'm saying?
What I was about
he's
to
got
say.
Pace, he's got strength, he can play with his back to goal, he can play facing goal, he can run the channels, he can take penalties, he can head the ball, he can do everything, bro. I'm not saying he can do everything at an elite level, but he can do everything at 7 or above. And like, bro, you don't find strikers like that in the modern game.
What you basically just called him then is the complete striker, which is needed.
He is.
You don't have
in the modern game. He's the complete striker.
And what that means is you don't have to pick him for certain games and go, all right, this ain't a game for you because we're playing this way. If you want to play on the offensive and possession-based football and dominate a team against a low block, he can do that. If you want to play on a counter-attack, he can also do that. If you're in the trenches, you can play him away at Leeds or away at Barcelona. Like, that's the difference. You know what I'm saying? Depending on how you want to play. You can play him if you're playing at home to Brentford. And he is a great foul forward as well. He is a great foul forward and he creates a lot. And he's doing that for Brentford. So imagining that in a better team with better players around him, with more of the ball, what he could do. I'm with him. I'm with it. And he scores all types of goals as well, which I also like. It's just on the lawyer thing. They need to get, Proctor, Davis, McLean.
Bro, listen, we've got enough money for him not to worry about that, bruv. You know what I'm saying? If we pay, it goes away, blood. You know, like that. Just pay, bruv. Trust me, when you got money, you ain't really go away. You ain't gonna worry about that kind of stress. That's why I think City are gonna bust case as well, because they got too much money.
Yeah, of course City are gonna bust case. The most that will happen to Manchester City, I've said this, is hefty fine, which ain't a hefty fine to them, but some form of fine and a transfer ban. I don't see them getting relegated. I don't see, as much as I would love that to happen, because them in League 2 would be great for content purposes. No, it's not gonna happen, but I hope I'm wrong. But yeah, with Toney, hopefully he does bust case. Yeah, I don't know why Southgate don't pick Toney. Yeah, man.
But I do know why he don't pick Toney, because he's got his favourites, bro. Do you know what I mean? The same reason why he didn't pick Rashford, but he sent home Raheem Sterling, and brought him back and played him ahead of Rashford, who you could clearly see the form that Rashford was in at the World Cup, and he's carried it on into the season. You could see, the form Rashford was on at the World Cup. He should have started every game. Like the fact that man sent Raheem Sterling home, brought him back, and still bench Rashford tells you, that this idiot has just decided that this is who he's playing, bro. Do you understand what I'm saying? He's decided.
He's, you know who he is. I say all the time. He's just Ollie in a waistcoat. We've seen this before.
He is.
Yeah, Ollie had his favorites, and it's like, why are you picking such and such? They're the same.